Hi everyone, Janie here, and I am going to share something with you that I just discovered. So I am a huge Santoro Gorjuss Girl collector. I love those stamps. I love those adorable images. And my favorite place to get them is Create for Less because they have the best selection I have ever seen and the best prices. And the other day, while I was at Create for Less, looking through, all of their Gorjuss Girl stuff, I discovered something I'd never seen before, never heard of before. Seriously. And I had to share it with you. I'm looking at this going, oh my gosh, I have to have this. I have to share this with my viewers because what if they've never heard of it either? So let me try to grab these really quick because they're really big. These are cut and emboss folders. And they're actually kind of too big to show you right here. So we're going to head on over to the craft table and get a better look.
Here they are, and they are big. These are not A2 size, but they will still fit in your Cuttlebug and your Big Shot, and I will show you that here in a little bit. But I'll let you get a closer look at them. And the actual image size is 5x7. So these are for bigger cards, like a 5x7, and also great for scrapbooking. But they are just adorable, and they emboss and they cut, and I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to give you some ideas of what you can do with these. Aren't they just adorable? I'm so excited about this. You have no idea. They're just so cute, and they emboss and cut. So I'm really looking forward to this. So many possibilities. I cannot wait to show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open these up because they are brand new, have not yet been opened. And I'm going to make some samples for you, and I'm going to show you how they work. So we will be right back. This is the very first card that I made with it, and I absolutely love the way that it came out. So the folder that I used is this one right here, which is just adorable. And the cardstock that I used is this pearlized cardstock that I got from Create for Less that I was using last month. And this is really amazing. Just to give you an idea of how well this embosses, this is very thick cardstock. It's not like flimsy or anything. And it embossed beautifully. So that goes to show you how good the embossing folder works, and also how wonderful this pearlized cardstock is. But I cut it out with the pink. Sorry, I didn't cut it out. I embossed and cut with the pink, and then I have some kind of a silvery white pearlized cardstock behind it. And I happen to have a die cut that said love that actually fits so perfectly in there. And I bet you have a die cut that would fit in there perfectly as well. Or you could stamp a sentiment or whatever you want. And it also cuts these little openings, these little stars that you're going to see all over there. So it didn't just cut the heart out, but it cut out some of the stars. And so in there I added these little rhinestones. And then I added some petaloo flowers down here that actually aren't available anymore. These are from years and years ago. But Create for Less does sell other petaloo flowers that are pretty awesome. And I added a ribbon down the side, and this little bow. This is a cute thing. This bow actually cuts out of with the die cut part of this. And I took the bow. It didn't have, well, getting closer, it didn't have all that detail on it, but I noticed that it matched exactly with this bow. So I just took that piece and I put it back in and ran it through with the embossing folder again and got the embossed design on that. And then I used pop dots to pop it back up on there to give it some dimension. So you can do a lot with these. But this was my very first and one of my favorites. This is the second card I made. And this time I used 110-pound cardstock. And I colored the image with chalk. Because if you watch some of my videos, you know I like coloring with chalk. And this really shows a lot of the stars that are cut out. And it makes a cute little shaker card because that little opening cuts out. And if you need to know how to make shaker cards, I'll try to remember to put a link below because I have some videos on making shaker cards. But isn't this one just adorable? This is the third card that I made. And for this one, I used this cut and emboss folder. And you can see all of the red areas that you see, those are die cut areas. So you're seeing the red cardstock that is behind. But this was a cute little beach scene. She's got a little seashell that she's holding up to her ear, listening to the ocean. And so I decided to use kind of a beige sandy color cardstock. And then I used colored pencil to color the little bits of grass or, plants that are showing through here. And also that cute little gorgeous girl. She's just adorable. I kind of want you to take a close look here and see the depth of the embossing. The detail is just amazing. This embosses so well and is just absolutely beautiful. And I made these little die cut embellishments to add on here. But I think that came out really good. I really like the way that the colored pencil worked on here. And here is the fourth and final one that I'm sharing with you today. And again, I made this one into a shaker card. And let me show you the folder that I used. This is the one I used. And I thought I should maybe pull it out and show it to you because I haven't been pulling them out to show you at all yet. So this is what it looks like. And I'll be showing you a little bit more later, but on the inside, actually I'll turn it around this way. And look at that. I have a piece of red stuck in there I'm going to have to get out. But this is what it looks like. So all of these areas that are white, those are the areas that it will cut out. And I think this one just was asking to be a shaker card. And what I did is for this card, I used Coordinations cardstock, and it's really an amazing thing because you can sand it and then, the lighter color will come through. So it's really easy to do. You just emboss, then you use some either sandpaper or a sanding block, and you just go over the whole thing, and your image will then stand out. And I think that came out just beautiful, and I don't want to shake this around too much, only because I discovered that the cute little elements that I added in there with the sand, by the way, that is sand in there, actually, real sand. But I discovered if I shake it around too much, I lose those. They get hidden, and then I have to shake it some more to find them, which is actually a fun thing for a kid if they get this, because they can just shake it until those little elements show up again. But this is just really cute. You can see this is where a little crab used to be. It's kind of like on the other cards. Let me pull this one back over really quick. Here was the opening for the bow, but I actually added the bow back in. And on this one, I didn't add the crab back in there. But I just love these. Aren't they just the cutest things ever? So these are just a few ideas to inspire you. And now let me show you how the folders work. One more thing before we move on. The cutout pieces do not have to go to waste. They make beautiful additions to the inside of the cards. So I've got my Cuttlebug, I've got my mats, which are your basic A mat for the bottom, and then 2 B mats, the same thing you would use with any embossing folder. And we're going to be using this folder because we haven't used this one yet. So this is going to be my first time using this one. And I wanted to show you that these folders, the actual framed image that you're going to be using for your card is 7 inches tall, and this one is 4 3/4 inches across, but this one is 5 inches across by 7 inches. So you can cut your cardstock to any size you want. You can cut it to fill in the whole folder, or just the size of that, and you can always cut off the excess afterwards. So I've got me a piece of Coordinations cardstock, and I'm going to be putting that in here. I've got it cut to just about the right size. It's going to have a little extra around the edges. So let me get it in here. It would be easier if I cut it bigger and then just did this, but you know, I'm not necessarily that smart. So let me just get it sit in here where I want it. And then I can just cut off the excess. You can see the excess down the edges here, and I can cut that off, or I can just leave that. But you just put it in the folder like you would any other thing you're going to emboss. And we're going to put it right here between the two B mats. Now you will notice that, let me get it up here, that it is longer than the mats. But that's not a problem, because all you care about is the area within the dark lines. That's the frame. So as long as that part is on your mat, and there's plenty of room for that. So let me get it up there and show you. So that's on there. Put your other B mat over the top. Guess these are plates, not mats. And it fits right in your Cuttlebug. And actually, it would help if I get my mats lined up first. There we go. Okay, and it'll just go right through there, and it's going to wiggle all over the place. Sorry about that. And I have this problem sometimes with this Cuttlebug. I should have used my other one. So I'm just going to go ahead and back it back out the other way. This is an old Cuttlebug, you know, back before they came out with their V2. But I thought I would use this one today because it's pretty. But, you know, they came out with a new one for a reason. All right, so let's move that aside. And now we're ready for the reveal. And we lift this up. And look how beautifully, I mean, it just lifts right out of there. I don't have to fight with it or anything. And there may be a couple of stars, but you just barely touch them and they come out. This is so cool. I'm just looking for all the little tiny stars. Oh my gosh, but they just fall right out. Is this beautiful or what? Now, I'm going to show you what you can do with the Coordinations cardstock. Okay, I've got a sanding block. This is just a, well, one you could pick up at a hardware store, but there's really cool crafting sanding blocks that you can find. And so what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to rub really hard, but I'm also not going to rub really soft. So, you know, you just kind of start rubbing over it. And as I'm doing this, you can see that the image is starting to appear. And you just do this all over. Oh, look, there's another star that needs to come out. Couple more stars that need to come out. This is so cool. There's so many of these tiny little stars. I love it. They'll come in handy. We'll just set those aside. I don't throw things like that away. Okay, let's try this again. So, we just sand and sand and sand. And like I said, you don't want to push so hard that you're tearing the cardstock, but you also don't want to do it too light. I mean, if you do it really light, you can still, you know, just, it'll take you longer, and that's fine. It's better to take a long time doing this than to try to do it too quickly and tear it. I really love Coordinations cardstock, and guess what? Just so happens that Create for Less carries some. So I'll have to put a link below for you so you can find that. Okay, I think I have it sanded enough. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? And then if you want, you can go over all of these cute little dots. Instead of just leaving them the way they are, you can always add some glitter gel pen to that. You know, get out some silver or gold, whatever it is that you want to use. So now what do you do with it? Well, I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with it, so I don't want to cut out this gold glittery paper and then not use it. So I'm just putting it up against here so you can see how beautiful that would be if you just, you know, adhered this to this gorgeous glitter paper. Makes the balloons sparkle, it makes the stars sparkle. Actually, I may just use that because I'm really liking the way that that looks. What do you think? You know, actually, leave me a comment below and let me know, what would you do with this one to make it a card? I would love to hear your thoughts on if you would, you know, leave this the way it is, or if you would use some glitter gel pen, if you would use this sparkly cardstock behind it, or would you turn it into a shaker? Just let me know down below in the comments. I'd really love to hear from you. And wow, look at all the beautiful cutout pieces you have to use on the inside of your card or on the envelope.
Thank you all for watching. And if you are a Gorjuss Girl fan like I am going to have links below to Create for Less, where you can find Gorjuss Girl stamps and those Gorjuss Girl Cut and Emboss folders. In fact, there will be a link directly to the page that has those folders on them, and a link to the page where all of the Gorjuss Girl stamps are. And that way you can just get right to it. But don't forget, Create for Less has everything you could ever dream of for crafting and hobbies. So it's not just about Gorjuss Girls, but like I said, it's my favorite place for that. So happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.